What's up, my Madden Rebo Warriors? My name is David, and this is the conclusion of chasing down Jerry Rice's all-time receiving record. As you can see, our man Micah Medlock retired after 17 years, and they say he slowed down and he lost a step in his final season. But the question is, can he catch Jerry Rice in those 17 years? Well, we're going to find the answer to that in this video, the conclusion of chasing down Jerry Rice's record. Let's get into it. And I really think we just have an easy road here. And if we lose, that will be the craziest thing ever. Besides there being a 9-8, 8-9 teams in the Super Bowl. So let's advance together and see if we get this done. We lose 35-7. I mean, this probably could be the greatest episode of all time. I know we were only 9-8, but with the track record of what we came in with being 3-time back-to-back Super Bowl champions, an 8-9 team that was awful in every statistical category. How did they get here? How did they get here? Oh my God. Yeah, their quarterback's good. You know, 2-time Super Bowl champions. Not an award, a damn thing. Nothing. Well, the big thing here is what's going to happen with Micah Medlock. It looks like he's coming back for another year here. He hasn't retired yet. I hope he doesn't retire. He's still got another year on his contract. He's like 200 yards or less away from breaking Jerry Rice's record for most receiving yards in a season. And the question is, can we get it done? He's like down on 82 overall speed. He needs like 2,000 more yards. That's realistically, I think he needs 2 more seasons to do it. Welcome to the 2042 season. We are still rolling. We are trying to rebound from our terrible loss in the Super Bowl. We are 1-0. Younger team. We are rebuilding on defense. Still in the Steelers playbook. Still in the Rams playbook. Got a young defensive core. Cut some fat. Some 30-year-old players that stuck around. Our middle linebacker we traded. Our tight end we traded. Picked up some draft picks this coming year that we had to use to move up in the rounds this past draft. Also, we fixed our quarterback. Last year we had him in the wrong stack of abilities. So I know someone asked what it was in my previous video because I never mentioned it. This is about what the original stack was: sideline, inside deadeye, dashing deadeye, set feet lead, and pass lead elite. And he had a nice week in week 1, so we'll go over those stats. 45-31, we get the win over 49ers. Paul Heenan, 419 yards passing, 4 passing touchdowns. Kind of hurting on the ground here with the running back situation, restarting there. But Micah Medlock, 4 receptions, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. He only has 82 speed, so that's incredible. That's really incredible. I guess we can debate whether abilities matter or not all day, but maybe it's speed that doesn't matter at all, because that's crazy for an 82 overall speed demon. So we're through the midway point, just over half the games during the season at 9 games. We're an 87 overall, 89 offense, 87 defense, young defense. We just re-signed a bunch of people, including Micah Medlock. I didn't think he was going to resign, but he's signed on for another 2 years. Hopefully that keeps him from retiring. We want to see how far this career can go. We're riding it to the end, baby. Let's take a look at his numbers halfway through, because we're 3rd in points, 1st in passing. I think we would be 1st in points if we had better rushing numbers. But look, we're 19th overall on defense, giving up the run, and we've only given up 66 yards a game. So rushing is really down. Something to be proud of. I guess. No one wants to run. They want to throw the ball. Paul Heenan, almost 3,000 yards. 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Not quite the one season we were off to. But it is what it is, you know. I think we're still on the right track. I think we got the abilities back to where they could be for him. Only 450 yards carrying for Donnell Street. Only 2 rushing touchdowns. I really, it took till our running back was close to 90 and had some abilities before he started really putting up numbers. But Mike Medlock, it's all about him. 58 catches, only 58 catches. Someone else has much more than him, but the yards, he's killing it. 1,000 yards, 111 a game, and 13 touchdowns. Well, we've reached the end of the season. We are in the wild card round on the road against a familiar foe. Recently, the Tennessee Titans. We are 12-5, 7th in points and 1st in passing. I'm not happy with this. I mean, through 9 games, we were over 330 yards passing, and now we're down to 285. I mean, we're still 1st in passing, but I feel like the Madden really was like, we got to average this out. We can't have you throwing for this many yards. We can't, because the rest of the league's not. So we're going to bring it down a notch. And I don't, Paul Heenan didn't throw for over 300 yards the entire second half of the season, which is bullshit. Also brought down our points. So fuck you. You're so stupid. There's no reason why he wouldn't. I mean, he threw for 4,800 yards. He could have went over 5,000. Somehow he doesn't throw for over 40 touchdowns. Look at this. He hit a fucking wide receiver and not get any touchdowns. It's such bullshit. They killed Micah Medlock. He only had 500 yards the rest of the year. Bro, fuck off. But the rookie got 9 sacks. That might get him rookie of the year. All right, let's advance and see if we did enough to rebuild this team. And we did. We did. 24-17. Paul Heenan, 274 yards and a touchdown. Calvin Weldon filling in for our missing running back, and J.D. Sands as well. Both get rushing touchdowns. Micah Medlock missed the playoffs, 8 for 96 and a touchdown. Everyone else is just kind of butt sauce. Jalen Reed, in what could be his final year, had 2 sacks. Sean Henley had a sack. Julius Roberts and Sermon combined for a sack. That's cool. Ben Hyde came back. Familiar foe. We won a Super Bowl with Ben Hyde, and he returns in his later years. We were hurting at corner. All right, it's time to advance to see if we can get back to another AFC Championship game. We're against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are not a very high overall team compared to us. They are in the Pittsburgh Steelers playbooks. A decent team here, but we should win. I know we're on the road, but we just don't give up points. And they can't score enough with us, I don't think. So, we're going to advance together. We're fully healthy. Rocking and rolling. We are rocking and rolling. And we get to win 21-15. Low scoring game. Scoring is down in the NFL. Paul Heenan, only 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he was our leading rusher. Tough matchup here. Defensive game. When you got the Steelers playbooks going against each other. All right, we'll take it. We are against the Bills. It's always got to be the goddamn Bills. Well, here we are. Our offense is so-so. Our defense is playing pretty good, haven't given up more than 17 points. But we're on the road again, 3rd straight game against the Buffalo Bills. You all know what the Bills' offense and defense can do. One of the best playbooks and combination of playbooks in the game. Solid team across the board. Our quarterback's always good. Let's see if we're going back to Super Bowl. I think we're going. I think we got it. And we're taking on the Packers. Let's go. Let's check out the weekly awards. Paul Heenan, 417 yards and 4 passing touchdowns. Finally has an explosive game. What it only took us forever. Showing up in the biggest of moments. Vince Martian, fucking huge cash. Still can't catch a touchdown. What, dude? Come on. 8 receptions, 88 yards. I can't. That's what I'm going to focus on too. 11 catches and 150 yards for Vince Martian, the 6'5" wide receiver. Cool to see. Only 1 sack combined, no interceptions. Just played great defense. We're hot. We're hot on defense. Well, if you remember last year, we lost to an 8-9 Lions team, and this year they lose in the NFC Championship game to a 9-8 Packers team. So we got the advantage here, I believe. 9-8. I mean, they have a decent overall for a CPU team. They are number 1 in rushing. They are in both Seattle playbooks. They have a revenge narrative here with Cliff Preston, who we traded away a couple years ago. And he's still rocking and rolling. 79 receptions, over 1,000 yards. Like I said, they have the leading rushing team. But we ain't scared. We are missing our middle linebacker 2, I believe. It's either middle linebacker 2 or 3. They're both kind of around the same average overall. But that doesn't matter. We are rocking, rolling. And I think we're going to get our 4th Super Bowl in 5 years. Right? Let's do it. Let's advance together and see what we get it done. Were we able to reload in the offseason, get younger, and still win another chip? And we did! 42-24. Let's go. As you see, 42-24. Check on the stats. Paul Heenan finally getting some yards the last 2 games. 353 passing, 6 passing touchdowns, nothing on the ground. Vince Martian with the most incredible Super Bowl ever. 9 receptions, 181 yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. Yeah, Micah Medlock's just getting old. They're all focused on him. Huge cash. He's tiny cash. He's chump change. He can't score touchdowns, but Vince Martian, 6'5", beast. He's a wide receiver 3. Sacks all over the place. You got both rookies coming through. Yeah, man. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Shout out to the Steelers defensive playbook. Absolutely getting done in the playoffs. I fucking forgot to look at the yearly awards again. But I will tell you this. Sermon is now a superstar, so he definitely won Rookie of the Year. You weekly awards, Paul Heenan. I mean, I don't know who would get the Super Bowl MVP, so let's check that out. The quarterback threw 6 touchdowns and 353 yards. Got the MVP, not the wide receiver who caught 5 receiving touchdowns, who probably broke a record. Right. Okay. All right. Well, you can see down there, David Sermon, Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Broncos. Good for us on that front. We beat the MVP in the AFC Championship game, and it was either Paul Heenan or Jaron Whittington, just back and forth with the Bills. So we built a team that can compete with the Bills, the Chiefs. Let's check on career stat-wise where we're at with one Micah Medlock. 2,100 yards. Over 2,100 yards. Almost 300 touchdowns. We should break Jerry Rice's record next season. Welcome to what could be the final conclusion, the final season of Micah Medlock's career with us. He did sign an extension. I think he has another year after this, but he's sitting 1,245 yards away from tying Jerry Rice. He needs one more yard than that to break the record this season. Can he do it? He is an 82 speed still, so thankfully we didn't go down to an 81 or an 80. Still has his acceleration. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we'll do it. He's we'll take a look here. The depth chart. I haven't done this in a while, but Paul Heenan, Gambit. He's 99 overall. We got some nice backups here. Brought back Donnell Street. He tested free agency, but he didn't go nowhere. He has no abilities. He's up to a star now. Calvin Weldon, back him up. Decent player. We have a fullback. I don't know if he ever gets used. But Micah Medlock is now down to an 85. Really something here. He's falling off, man. He still's got strength, but the catching and everything, that's all gone down. He's the third best wide receiver. But we're keeping him where he's been the whole time. He's the number one. He's the alpha. He's the alpha still. And he is in the slot. And you got Huge Cash and Vince Morrison. Hopefully one of those guys in the development. But, we break the record this year. Do we really need to continue? We have a nice rookie, Carlos Williams. He's big and fast. He's starting for us. Artie Paul, Al Sandler, Gene Johnson, Moses Hodgins, and Josh Huff. Good offensive line. Nothing great, No one's over 90. No one's got, superstar abilities. Just solid. We won with them last year. Denario Smith, second-year man here, only up to a 78, 6'4", 307. I mean, he's got 75 speed and 81 acceleration, 93 strength. It's pretty good for a man that size, but we did draft Eric Proctor. He's the backup here. Last year we drafted Andrew Donald. I thought he'd be faster, but he's not. He's up to an 83. This is his second year, and he's starting. If he does not perform, or the defense is underperforming at some point, by the halfway mark, I'm trading him. I'm worried about him being 6'1" and not over 6'4", 6'5", not make it in this league for us. We drafted Eric Proctor in the first round. Thought he was going to be a lot better, but took him at 5th overall. Didn't come with a development. He's basically the same guy, but he's 6'5" and he's 310. So he could be the guy moving in there. Nose tackle, Sean Henley. He's up to an 89. He's 372 pounds, 95 strength. No abilities. David Herman, great rookie pickup for us last year. He's a superstar. 85 speed, 93 acceleration, 83 strength. Nice speed rusher. Solid middle linebackers. Won with these guys last year. Rookie last year too, Joyce Roberts. Kind of same as our other middle outside linebacker on the other side. Just doesn't have the development points. Dexter Keaton. He is a superstar. Had a great season last year for us. Akeem Callaway. Drafted him later in the draft this past year. He's a superstar, so just trying to start him here. Cordell Smart was a first-round pick for us. We had 2 of them. Top 5 talent. Number 2 overall and overall for the draft, but no development. Will Lipton we drafted last year. He's just building up here. Caleb Hill was actually had a start at our second corner last year. Moved him back to safety. He's an X factor from playing corner. Hey, worked for us, guys. The Super Bowl. That moved back Jeremy Hutchins down in the lineup. We lost a safety, a backup, one of our backup strong safeties. He went in free agency. We didn't bring him back. We didn't re-sign him. So we got Juan Kramer there. And that's pretty much it to go over. As you can see, Micah Medlock, yes, he is our wide receiver, slot wide receiver. 87 overall, 89 offense, 85 defense. We've already trained. We trained deep, and we usually kick the Raiders' ass. We'll advance together. Micah Medlock usually goes off on him, of course. There you go. 40-28. Paul Heenan. Only 228 yards. But did have 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Let's see the stats. Let's see what we got out of our wide receivers. Donnell Street, welcome back, man. The free agent. 6.4 yards to carry. Vince Morrison, 4 for 89. Micah Medlock, 8 for 64. Oh, man. We want to see more than that, baby. Come on. Sack-wise, Henley got a sack. Sermon got a sack. Denario Smith got a sack. 2 interceptions. Ooh, the rookie, Akeem Callaway with an interception. Let's go. All right. Still in the Rams, still in the Steelers. We will see you either halfway or at the end of the season. All right, so we're halfway through the season, 8 games in, week 9 by first in points. We're 10th in pass yards. We'll talk about that in a second. First in rush yards, and we are first in rush yards against pass defense, not so good. But we are missing one Micah Medlock. He was out for 7 games. He only played 3 games this season. We lost Julius Roberts for the season, and now another outside linebacker for this week. So, got some bad injuries. I don't think Micah Medlock's breaking the record this year, barring a miracle in the second half of the season. So, we'll see what happens. We got the 6-2 Titans. Always been they've been a tough team in this rebuild. Faced them a lot. They're doing pretty good. So we'll see. All right, well, we have reached the playoffs. What a season it has been. We are 15-2, 89 overall, 91 offense, 89 defense. The defense has really stepped it up. A lot of green all across the board, though. Don't let that 30th ranked pass defense fool you. We were first in points scored, 8th in passing yards, 2nd in rush yards, 6th in points allowed, 30th in pass defense, and 2nd in rush defense. Let's take a look at the stats. Paul Heenan, 4,200 yards, 39 touchdowns. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Donnell Street's taken away. Are we in the right playbook? Like, what's going on here? Donnell Street, 1,200 yards, 17 rushing touchdowns. Huge cash, 100 receptions, 1,100 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Vince Morrison, 73 for 880 and 3. Micah Medlock kind of rebounded a little bit. When he came back, played 11 games, got 786 yards and 8 touchdowns. That is not good. Man. Is it going to happen? Don't have anyone go over 100 tackles. What's going on here with the sim? And what was called Aaron Donald. Andrew Donald. I guess he earned his way to stay on this team. 15 sacks. He's a little short arm man. I equate height with arm length. And the 6'1", 306 Alabama grad got it done. David Sermon, nice year following up his other year. Sean Henley, 8 sacks. Interceptions. Dexter Keaton, our number 1 corner, 7 interceptions. The rookie, Akeem Callaway, 6'4", 196 superstar. Started almost the entire year as the cornerback 2. He had 6 interceptions, while Kramer had 4. Cordell Smart had 3. The other rookie. Let's look at the rest of the league. Jared Whittington, that man, we all know his name. And, wow. Even the rookie for the Lions beat Paul Heenan. We tried switching up his abilities and didn't work, man. I mean, 39-5 is pretty good, but just not good enough. Hey, Donnell Street led the league in rushing and rushing touchdowns. That's not what this playbook is supposed to be doing. That's cool. Huge Cash tied for leader in receptions. Yeah, we're having a down year here in the stats numbers, man. Except this Evan Patterson guy keeps getting done in touchdowns. Defensively, do you think this guy has an ability? No, he does not. Curtis Johnson's not an ability. Led the league in tackles. Jamie Peck, he still have abilities? Yeah, he's still a monster. Fearmonger, secure tackler, BOGO, instant rebate, run committed. There's that instant rebate and BOGO. Check on the career stats. 2,200 yards, 1,400 receptions. He needs another year. He needs another year. Give him another year. Please do not retire. All right, so we're home against the Browns. They're just another team. We're 15-2. We're defending Super Bowl champions. Let's get it done. One of the biggest upgrades I've ever done to a team. So many upgrades. I've only been upgrading after a loss, and we haven't lost, of course, a lot this season. So our starting rookie corner had 11 upgrade points. I've never seen it that much before. So crazy. We're just balling, man. This is one of the best teams I ever built. One of the best teams ever built. And we don't have that many superstars. We got an 82 speed wide receiver. He's like 86 overall, and he's a star development. Let's get this done, man. The running back don't have abilities. The other wide receivers don't have abilities. And we crush it. Let's go. 35-21. Never in doubt. Of course, we have to take on the freaking Bills. But let's talk about this game first. Paul Heenan can't throw over 300 yards in the regular season, back-to-back seasons. But back-to-back seasons, he throws for almost 400 yards in a playoff game, 4 passing touchdowns. Micah Medlock, Mr. Playoffs, 7 for 177 and 3 receiving touchdowns. Still getting it done at his old-ass age. 11 for 96 for huge cash. 1 catch for Jared Means for a touchdown. How about that? Andrew Donald, 2 sacks. Dakota Hill, a sack and a half. Half a sack for Henley. And that's all she wrote. What a game this will set up to be. One more game away from defending another Super Bowl title. All right, well, we're healthy. We're 90. We're above 90 on everything now. Now we're 91 on defense. The Bills are really good. But all they do is can pass and score points. We should kick their ass. They ain't never played a team like this. Let's go. Come on. Let's get it done. I know they're a great playoff team. Great playoff playbooks. And we're going back to the Super Bowl against the Cowboys. That's what I'm talking about. A few weekly awards. Paul Heenan, 241 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns. Donald, getting it done. Another 2-sack game. No touchdowns for Jaron Whittington. Let's go. Micah Madlock still getting it done in the playoffs. That's what I'm talking about. He's just like Kelsey. Just, doesn't show. He's not showing up to camp in shape. Got himself hurt, but now he's healthy. Donald, Sermon, Henley all got sacks. No interceptions. It's a heck of a rebuild, man. This freaking Steelers playbook. Getting it done. All right, before we talk about the Cowboys, let's talk about their yearly awards. Always forget to do this. Jaron Whittington, he is the MVP, and, well, he just lost to us. Evan Patterson, Offensive Player of the Year over Jaron Whittington and his teammate Matt Bradford. Dylan Sermon, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Wow. Shaq Norris used to be on our team, beating out Andrew Donald. Freaking Raiders, man, they keep getting it done. Offensive Rookie of the Year got Doug Wiggins from Jaguars. Callaway gets it over Cordell Smart, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm surprised he doesn't have an X Factor now, but it is what it is. Best quarterback Dakota Hitchens. Best running back Donnell Street. Also, can't believe he's not a superstar. He's just a star still. Evan Patterson and Matt Bradfield are your best wide receivers. Ooh, Moses Hodgins, best offensive lineman. We gotta check out to see if he got anything for that. Dylan Sermon, of course, best linebacker. Shaq Norris getting over David Sermon for us. Come on. Dexter Keaton. All right, we had a really good year. Don't usually get that many awards. Time to take on the cheesy Cowboys, as C4 would say. You know, they're always cheesing. They got that cheesy offense. I don't know if there's that much cheese anymore, but we get another 9-8 team in the Super Bowl. NFC's really good. They stink. 87s across the board. Really good against the pass. That's okay because we don't pass anymore. We just do what needs to be done to win. So let's simulate together and see if we get this done. Going for another 2 in a row. And we win 34-14. What's that? 5 Super Bowls in 6 years. Paul Heenan, 281 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns. Juan Kramer with an interception. That dude's always coming through in the playoffs for sure. 34-14, as we said already. Paul Heenan, 281. 2. The backup getting 2 backup touchdowns. So they kind of guess it. Okay, so they did a better job of stopping the run in the past, but we knew what the ranks were going in, that they were the opposite of that, of what they did on defense, but they knew they had to sell out to stop one of the best rushing attacks in the league somehow. Good stuff, guys. Way to go. Please don't retire. Micah Medlock. Let's take a look. Does it end here? Oh, he hasn't retired yet. Let's friggin' go. We got one more year. I think, at least. We got one more year. Paul Heenan, another Super Bowl MVP. This man is the greatest quarterback to ever live. Sorry. I'm sorry, past quarterbacks. Paul Heenan built up this man to be a winner. To the 2044 season. The dramatic conclusion, of Micah Medlock breaking Jerry Rice's record. His career yardage record. Micah Medlock sits 459 yards away from tying Jerry Rice. What are you eating, Jerry? Jerry's eating rice. Well, Jerry's about to get passed by Micah Medlock, barring injury. It happened last year where he missed 7 games, or else he probably would have done it. But he didn't. So here we are. I wanted to get this video out days ago, but I had to stay with this rebuild. And I didn't rush through the off season too much. You still got to put a team together. And here we are. Micah Medlock's also 134 catches away from tying Jerry Rice for most receptions in a career. I don't think we're going to get that. We'd have to probably go another year. We'll see where we're at the end of this year. Who gives a shit about that? We're more here for, getting the yardage, creating a Hall of Famer, the next great wide receiver ever. I mean, he's already there. The touchdowns are unbelievable. What can you say about that? We've been to the Super Bowl 6 years in a row. We've won 5 of them. We are currently looking for our 3rd in a row. Again, we are a dynasty. I don't know. Just a combination of the Rams, which the stats have kind of gone down over the last couple years. And since we've gone to the Steelers playbook, it's slowly become a better defensive team. I think the defense really carries us in the playoffs, especially. I'm also trying something new here. I've always been a person of schemes don't matter. Playbooks matter, schemes don't. Now, I've subbed to a really good channel, Sim Gaming Network. Check them out. I'll be using his CPU versus CPU sliders. I think he's got a really good understanding of that. He's got a great understanding of college football, Madden, using great sliders. Now, and he's all about like how things, figuring out how things affect the game in a way they shouldn't. How sliders and stuff. He's all about RB rotations. But in his latest video, he was talking about how scheme can affect certain playbooks in the slow sim. Now, this is slow sim. I have no idea if it affects in the quick sim, but we're going to find out. So he was talking about how there's like 4 or 5 playbooks in the slow sim, like Chiefs and Bengals and Ravens, that they throw too much in slow sim. They're awful at being balanced. But if you change the scheme, like he used the Baltimore Ravens for example, if you change the Baltimore Ravens and you're going to the coach and you change them to a pistol scheme, they actually run the ball more. Now, I have no idea if that works for quick sim, but we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna give a couple games a spread. I'm like looking for, more passing, because we've kind of been running a little bit more, and I've had it on it was like outside zone, vertical zone, or something like that. So there's a couple ones I've been looking at. So we're gonna look at spread and see we can go from there. Hey man, my mind's open from always being changed, but I always had success without messing with scheme and stuff like that, so I never really thought it meant anything. But I mean, it's awesome if it does. I can't wait to find out. We're gonna find out together. But what's most important is Mike and Medlock at 7 receptions for 117 yards. We also have all new coordinators. And if you watch C4's latest video, actually his last couple videos on his rebuilds, he's been harping on the change in coordinator glitch, where he thinks that his teams do very well, and then as soon as the coordinators get poached and you get new ones, your team steps back no matter how good it is. And I will say that throughout this stretch of a dynasty, we've had the same coordinators, or at least one of them, especially our offense. Our offense, was kind of going downhill because Micah Medlock was our focus offensive player, and he was declining. And we were still winning games, but the numbers and the stats were, yardage wise, yes, touchdowns, especially throwing touchdowns, were going down, and our defense was going up. But we finally, had a great year last year, 15-2, and they got poached. Okay, so we're 4 games in. We're 2-2. I'm out of the spread scheme or whatever I had there. I think we're on the run and shoot now. We'll have to take a look, but I think it's a good time to come in here. Micah Medlock's at 305 yards receiving, which puts him about 154 yards away from breaking Jerry Rice's record. So I don't anticipate him doing that, but we've seen weird shit happen. So if he does, let's catch it together. Um, team schemes. What are we in now? Yeah, we're in the run and shoot. The other one sucked. So here we go. We're too good to be 2-2. But also, the first 4 games really don't matter. We take the L, of course. Watch, this is freaking Mega Medlock. Oh, this guy keeps getting hurt. Julius Roberts. Ugh. All right. Why is our defense is more broken than anything? Team schemes. Team schemes. Micah Medlock, 431 yards. All right, so Micah Medlock is 28 yards away from tying, 29 yards away from breaking the record. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. All right. Well, let me take care of this roster management stuff. You won't go anywhere. But yeah, I don't know what to do about this defense. I have to change the scheme here. Jesus Christ. All right, give me a second. Gotta figure this out. All right, so I moved us from 3-4 under to a 3-4 disguise. And we're going to see what we do from there. We're down one of our best linebackers. It is what it is. That doesn't help. I mean, we're 91s across the board. We shouldn't be this bad on defense. I mean, look, we're all in the grays. 32 in points against. Come on, bro. We're trying to figure it out here, but let's advance together for the dramatic. Ooh. We won? Okay. It's time to see what Micah Medlock got. The dramatic conclusion to breaking Jerry Rice's record. Paul Heenan, 262 yards. Donnell Street, 73 yards rushing. Micah Medlock, 8 receptions, 93 yards. He's broken Jerry Rice's record. As my dog gets up, he's excited. He's shaking out his excitement. 2 sacks, no interceptions. Let's go take a look at your new leader in career receiving yards. Micah Medlock in 2044, still setting touchdown catch records and now breaking yardage records. I did it in last year's, right? I mean, I don't understand how Jerry Rice did this. There you go. And for pretty soon here, we'll be cracking 23,000 yards receiving. But great to see Micah Medlock break it. We finally did it. I know some of you will check out here, but don't. No, you can. We're gonna finish the season strong and see what we can do. I also switched my corners. I thought they fixed this, but I guess apparently they didn't. Now, maybe this doesn't matter in the quick sim, maybe it does. I also reversed my cornerback 1 and 2 because Madden does this really stupid thing where your cornerback 1, if it's in the cornerback 1 spot, he's actually lined up against the wide receiver 2. I mean, it can't be any dumber. But I reversed him. I haven't done that in any rebuild yet, but he brought that back up in his last video. So yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see if that helps at all, because I'm really starting to believe this coordinator thing is a thing, All right, so 8 games into the season, we are 5-3. We've seems like the change was a good one here. Still only 31st in points, but maybe that'll change going forward. Big game from Paul Heenan. He had 420 yards, smoke him if you got him, and a rushing touchdown. He's in a contract here, and we can't afford to bring him back, so we brought back everybody else. that we needed to resign. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're not going to be doing this another season, I don't think. Let's look at our stats. Paul Heenan, just over 2,200 yards passing, 19 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Donnell Street, 3.7 yards a carry. I thought he'd be better than that. Micah Medlock, our leading wide receiver at 81 speed, 55 receptions, 692 receiving yards, and 9 receiving touchdowns. Let's go. Only 86 yards a game, but we'll see if that changes. These two guys are doing very well. Big, fast, and strong. Van Morrison is the guy that doesn't catch touchdowns. That's cool. Andrew Donald, he is our leading player in sacks, and I expected more of David Sermon, so I did switch him from unstoppable force to fearmonger. Let's see if that gets us some more interceptions and more sacks. And we need more interceptions out of our guys. Too good of a secondary. What's going on here, guys? Okay. Let's double check one more thing. Make sure they didn't move Micah Medlock out of the slot or in the number 1 spot. Nope, we're good to go. All right, let's advance together. See what we got. Another win and another weekly award. Keaton did get 2 interceptions, so good. It's good to see. They come in bunches. They do come in bunches. We're now 6-3, first in points, second in pass yards. Let's check out this game, see what happened. 24-21. Paul Heenan, 200 yards passing, 3 passing touchdowns. Not really liking what the scheme's doing as far as passing yards. I don't think scheme matters. He's just been down. So, all right. At least we're winning games. We'll see. I think at this point we'll see at the end of the season. We finally made it to the playoffs here. 13-4, 2 games worse than we were last year. 90 runs across the board. We started making inroads on defense after the scheme changed. Got the first round bye. It is what it is. Maybe the coaching thing is a thing. Who knows? Let's talk about the stats. Paul Heenan, over 4,500 yards, 4,622 yards passing. Finally gets back over 40 touchdowns with 43 and 8. Much lesser of a receiving core that he's had in the past. I don't know how Donnell Street went backwards here. I don't know what happened here in the red zone, but maybe it was the scheme change and trying to pass it more. But here you go, man. 81 speed, Micah Medlock, no abilities. Wasn't even was he like an 80 overall? Look at this guy. 82 overall with a boost. 15 years in the league, 37-year-old. Just the greatest in the world. The greatest ever. Micah Medlock, 6'1", 203 pounds. I mean, look, he's a 77 overall deep threat. He's getting the coaching boost and the morale boost, but 119 catches. I wrote it down here. Shit. 119. He hit 134, so 134 is subtracted by 119. I can't do math in my head. Give me a sec. All right, so he's 15 catches away from tying Jerry Rice's reception mark. He would have done it last year. This would have been the year we could have tried to go on for the reception record, but we would have probably definitely gotten real close to breaking Jerry Rice's record last year had he not got hurt. Nah, we still wouldn't have gone over it. No, I don't think so. But maybe. Wait, yeah, he would have. I don't know, dude. Who does it matter? All right, so he's 15 catches away from tying Jerry Rice. We did sign him for another year. I'm not sure I'm going to play out that other season, but just goes to show you what a guy. You don't need much. You don't need much to put up big numbers. And how about Vince Morrison? Another guy we can't re-sign. Probably in the future. 100 catches, 1,100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like, what is going on here? Rashad Hunt, he had 84, 922 yards, and 10 receiving touchdowns. And Carlos Williams, 64 catches, 561 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Nothing to Darnell Street. This guy just doesn't have any abilities. Fuck. So defensive wise, Pierre Verdon. Guy went over. I don't think I've had anybody go this high in tackles. And guess what? Star development. He got the star development boost. I don't know, man. I don't know. Andrew Donald, 11.5 sacks. David Sermon, he did a lot better once we did 2 things. We put him on relentless and switched him the sides he was on. So he's a left outside linebacker. For most of like half the season, he was on the left side pass rush spot, and then I switched him. And I think that kind of helps with their pass rush points. And he started getting sacks after that. So what? He was at 2, and in the second half of the season, he got 9. So he probably could have a lot more. And I think that kind of brought up some of these other guys using that relentless, maybe. Hey, Dexter Keaton, 7 interceptions last year, 6 interceptions this year. He's got bottleneck, acrobat, 1 step ahead, and on the ball. I would like to get flat zone knockout. That seems to help some guys. I see that a lot of good, lot of good corners that get numbers. And our man Pierre Verdon was just 5 sacks away, 5 tackles away from leading the league. That's pretty awesome. Holy shit! What? Yo, what? All right. First of all, what does this guy have? Oh, he's got that blitz, no fake, strip specialist, speedster, and spinner. What? What? Yo, what? 6'5", 266 left end. We gotta check out that playbook. Dylan Sermon, I mean, just always been good. Bowling ball, secure tackler, BOGO. Oh, he's got speedster too. It's speedster it. They both have speedster. There you go. Just absolutely crushed the record. I mean, you got one more, Jerry, just hanging on there. I want to let you know that I looked into the playbook that the Panthers player was in, and it's Seattle. Now, I had a guy in my comments talk about Seattle and how it might have been overlooked. And I looked at it, and the player that had sacks, all those sacks, is more of a 4-3 defensive end, but it's a 3-4 playbook, and he's at the DN spot, but obviously a pass rusher on the. So whatever, it's working. You know, size don't matter. Size and strength. I mean, he's like an 87 strength, but there you go. So let's advance together and watch it all, and right here. Ooh, we won 31-20. I'm surprised. Very, very, very surprised. I thought this was auto loss. Paul Heenan, 329 yards, 4 passing touchdowns. Can't run the ball for shit. Rashawn Hunt, the big man on campus. Him and Micah Medlock absolutely killing it. Defensively, Andrew Donald, 2.5 sacks. Now, I did put Speedster on my outside linebacker, and that seemed to have done nothing. Got it. Weekly awards, Paul Heenan. There you go. Right, we're upgraded, strategized, and ready to advance to see if we're heading back to the Super Bowl. This time we're taking on a 9-8 Jets team. I mean, what's going on here? Taking on another a poor team here. See if we can get back to the Super Bowl. And we do. We're going back to the Super Bowl, taking on the 49ers. 42-14, really not a contest here. Yeah, we're really stepping up in the playoffs here. 397 yards passing, 4 passing touchdowns for Paul Heenan. Finally got some on the ground there. Micah Madlock, 10 receptions, 135 yards, and a touchdown. Rashad Hunt had 9 for 10. Like, look at this. Is just incredible. I think the scheme's working pretty good. Not so much in the defensive part, but yeah, we're looking good here. Heading back to the Super Bowl against the 49ers, and just for reference, so we make sure that we're on top of it in case this means anything, our schemes. We're in air raid. Air raid in the playoffs, doing very well. Absolutely killing it. Air raid and train deep pass. And the game before was air raid and medium pass. You just go with whichever is higher. There you go, Paul Heenan. And finally, our outside linebacker. 3 tackles, a forced fumble, and 2 fumble recoveries. Here we are against the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Finally, a opponent that can keep up with us. 89 on offense, 87 on defense. Second in points scored and third in pass yards. 7th in rush yards against. Pretty good opponent here. Let's take a look at the yearly awards. Paul Heenan is the MVP again. On the way out the door, he gets the MVP. Micah Madlock, in his 15th, 16th year, whatever it is now, he is still an Offensive Player of the Year. Dylan Sermon gets Defensive Player of the Year. Jets have another Rookie of the Year. Jeff Walton is a defensive rookie. Paul Heenan's the best quarterback. Raiders have the best running back over Donnell Street. That stinks. Michael Medlock, the best wide receiver. I mean, does he even go up in abilities at all? Like, does he go from a star to anything? Carl Dixon, best offensive lineman. Dylan Sermon, best defensive lineman. David Sermon, best linebacker. There we go. Dexter Keaton is the best defensive back. And Kadeem Dunn, the best kicker. So those are the awards. Let's advance and see if we're going to win another Super Bowl. Can we get the rare three-peat in 7 years? Oh, and we lost. It comes to an end there. That's all right. All good things must come to an end. Weekly awards. I'm not even mad about this. Hey, Donnell Street finally goes over 100 yards rushing with 2 rushing touchdowns. Sermon has 3 sacks. But, yeah, Paul Heenan couldn't get it done. The season recap here, 34-17. Their QB, Raymond Ray, good name, gets the Super Bowl for the 49ers. A little bit of an MVP jinx for Paul Heenan. He just couldn't, old man. We got a couple old men here. 31-year-old QB with a 37-year-old star quarterback. It is what it is. In his final year, they said he lost a step, maybe 4, but he was down to a 72 overall, 76 speed, 80 acceleration, but he still was starting in the slot. 17-year career, that final 17th year, he had 81 catches, over 1,000 yards, and here where he stands record-wise in all of these receiving categories, pretty much owns every one of them except for receptions in his rookie year. Anyway, that's the conclusion. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for the breakdown of the best 4-3 defenses.